a fire station burning down, a marriage counselor filing for divorce, and getting run over by an ambulance. What do these three things have in common? Situational irony. Now, irony is a literary device in which what you say or what occurs is opposite from what is expected, or at least is different from what is expected, right? Now, irony comes in handy a lot in poetry. It adds multiple facets and dimensions to whatever you're writing or whatever you're saying. For example, you can add humorous aspects to the message you're trying to convey. You can add emphasis to the message, or you can just build tension. Now, before I present an example of how irony is used effectively in a poem, I want to tell you about an event I went to last Saturday, right? There was this book launching that occurred at a bookstore in Houston called Brazos Bookstore. And at this book launching, it was celebrating the new book by the poet Deborah D.E.E.P Mouton, right? And this is an amazing poet. I'm talking like the third Houston Poet Laureate. No joke. She has all these accolades under her. At some point, she was considered to be the second best poet, female poet in the world. You know what I'm saying? So she's no joke. Now, at this event, she was reading different poems from her book and happened to stumble upon one poem in particular. And instead of reading it, she performed it as a spoken word. Now, this poem exercised the use of irony better than I've seen most poems do it. So, without further ado, let's get started.
There's a piece in this book called Open Season that does some crazy, wonderful things on the page, but I'm not going to read that version. Let's perform it. Here we go.
Yes.
I have felt the weather changing, seeing the falling leaves painting the sidewalk in mosaic of autumn. As a transplanted Texan, these hoof-printed falls only remind me of one thing, and this year, I heard the government is opening hunting season early. Now, every good hunter knows you need two things to be successful: a good dog and a good gun.
All right, so let's stop it right there. So her tone is very happy, very excited. She's talking about how, hey, the government is opening up, open season is coming early, stuff like that. She's really excited, really emphatic. But there seems to be an underlying tone that is kind of leaving the viewers uneasy, right? That's this tension building up, and you're not entirely sure why until what comes next.
Gotta have something to sniff and some way to shoot. It's important to get as close to your target as humanly possible. Make sure they can't see you clearly. Now, this can be tricky. Hunting through the thick of night and hunting through the shadows in the thick of night offer easy solutions now. There's no use in standing on top of an open hill watching surrounding pastures and bushy banks if they're out of range. No. A better location is just inside the hood, I mean woods. So that if a boy, I mean buck approaches, you can move back and stalk through cover.
Okay, so let's stop right there. So at first, you know, she's taken on the persona of a hunter who is excited that open season has started and she's getting ready to go for the hunt. But all of a sudden you see her mix up the words like hood for actually, what was it? Let's go back a second.
Pastures and bushy banks if they're out of range. No. A better location is just inside the hood, I mean woods.
Yeah, there we go. So at this point she's talking about a good place to spot the kill, right? Or the thing that the prey, pretty much. And she swaps the words hood for woods. And typically the woods is where you would find something to hunt. But you wouldn't be looking for somebody wearing a hood, right? And at this point, the people listening are like, oh shoot, she's using like open season as a metaphor. But rather than animals being hunted, it's people, right? So this is where the irony sort of starts. This is where it starts to build up.
So that if a boy, I mean buck approaches, you can move back and stalk through cover. Now this can take years to perfect. I spotted one once, dark fur, oversized antlers, said the ones whose pelt sags just below their waist have the most tender innards. This one looked injured, dipped when he walked, hand holding his private like somebody already took a shot at him.
Okay, so this is where it gets heavy and you realize, oh shoot, I know exactly what she's talking about. Some savage mess right here, right? So you already know that she's taken on the persona of a hunter, but the hunter isn't hunting animals, he's hunting people, right? And not only is it people being hunted, but a specific kind of people. She said dark fur, right? Dark skin, right? She's talking, she mentioned hoodie, so you know somebody wearing a hoodie, sagging just below the waist. She said she was referring to the fur, I believe, but really we know she means sagging pants, stuff like that. So at this point, you kind of have a picture of the kind of people being hunted, and it's young black boys, right? This is heavy. I mean, really heavy. I remember watching this and being like, oh my God, like I'm the guy behind the camera if you don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my best not to like make sounds as I'm recording this because I'm not trying to ruin the recording, but at the same time, it's like, oh God, like, and that's the tension right there. I said irony can do three things: add a humorous element, add emphasis, or build tension. Deborah D.E.E.P, she goes in on the tension, right? So let's continue from here.
Hand holding his private like somebody already took a shot at him. Looked under 35. That's good. Get him too old, they might have learned how to run. Might have learned how to keep quiet and invisible. They say the most popular attractant is corn, but I've learned flashy jewelry, loud music do the trick. When a guaranteed kill, use some paper money. You can also purchase a call. One sounds like a mother's voice screaming out to Jesus. The other, the ring of Sean's wedding bells. The last one sounds like a sweet young girl whispering, I love you. Anything that sounds familiar or offers false hope. Once you got him in your crosshairs, aim right under the hoodie. Stand your ground. Shoot and kill. Invite a friend. Tell them, we don't shoot to eat. We hunt for the fun of the sport.
Boom. All right. So that's real heavy, right? A lot of times when we're talking poachers and stuff like that, they're often, they're shooting to kill and they don't even end up eating their prey. You know what I'm saying? This is heavy because doing it to animals is pretty bad, right? Killing them without a reason, but like this is like other humans, you know what I'm saying? So that's like the real ironic thing there. And the fact that the government issued open season early, it's the government which is supposed to protect, right? They're the ones who are allowing things like this to happen, right? I guess the most ironic thing in the situation is the fact that it's a black woman personifying a white man. You know what I mean? And taking on his voice and his character and his actions, things of that sort. So when you start off listening to the poem, you don't expect that whatsoever. You know what I mean? So yeah, a lot of tricks she has up her sleeve.
Let's see how many rounds we can put in him for his knees to buckle, for his family to come looking for him, The younger it is we catch him, the more likely it is we'll make the news. Picture us standing next to his 145-pound trophied body like the catch of a lifetime. We could be legends like Irwin v. Crocodile. No. Flood v. Duck. Police v. every black body. It's human nature that the more dominant species assert themselves over the one who posed the greatest threat. That's how we define a hero here in this thicket and this brush. They can try to camouflage themselves, but nothing that young, that black, that male will ever fit in.
Dang. Yeah. I don't even know what to say at this point. I'm sure y'all are catching all of this. Yeah, let's continue.
I followed one once for 19 blocks. Let my canine sniff out his blackberry scent. Didn't have my shotgun, so I just shot till my gun was empty. I wore his skin like a Halloween costume.
Wow. So it's very obvious that the hunters in this situation are very proud of their kills, going on to wear the skin of your prey, saying that, the younger they are, the more likely you are to make the news. Now, of course, this is controversial in the sense that, we don't know if the people killing black boys are proud of what they're doing, but in this poem, the argument is that they are indeed proud the way a hunter would be proud of a good kill, right? Wow. All right.
They say the darker the hide, the sweeter the blood. And this year, I've heard the government is waiving fees for permits. All you need is a rifle, a motive, a good hiding place. Try an alley next to a low-performing high school. Don't have one. Use your own front yard.
Oh, godly. Okay, that was heavy. the whole good hiding place thing, every hunter knows you don't want to scare off your prey. Every hunter knows that. In other words, you got to find a good hiding place where the prey won't see you coming, and then bam, get them before they even realize what's happening, right? Like, these are like typical rules to hunting, except she's applying it to how black boys are killed in the streets all the time. Like, yo. And this is what I'm talking about. Like I said, the definition of irony is where you say something or something occurs that is opposite or different from what is expected, right? You wouldn't expect to use like hunting terms to apply to the murder of black boys, but she is, right? And that irony, like I said before, it builds tension. All right.
Low-performing high school, don't have one. Use your own front yard. Plant a hedge. Stand in plain sight. Remember, if they come near you, it's only defending yourself. This is the circle of life. Somebody gotta be predator. Something, someone, always. Gotta pray.
Somebody gotta be predator. Someone, something gotta pray. Like, yo. Oh man, and that's the last bit of irony right there, in the sense that someone's always got to be predator. You think the next thing she'd say is someone's always got to be prey, but instead she said someone's always got to pray, as in pray. You feel me? Like, that's another example of saying something or a situation occurring where one thing is expected and you divert people's expectations, sort of, right? Yeah, that's heavy. I don't really know how else to elaborate on that, except D.E.E.P is an amazing, amazing poet. I'm gonna leave her Instagram somewhere on the screen. Yeah, definitely check her out. I make a lot of videos. Well, I will be making a lot of videos on poem analysis, whether it be spoken word or just written poetry. So if y'all are interested in videos like this or all things poetry, please subscribe, comment below, click on the notification bell, like, share, all of that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'll be back with another one real soon.